linguistic segmentation versus development among Vasava Bhils in other districts of Gujarat state. Dr. Satyakam's PPD, you have seen the Gujarat state and eastern parts of Gujarat belt. Okay, that is our area, and I belong to Narmada districts, as I said. In the context of language, as we know, it's so important. Today I can communicate in Hindi, English, Vasavi, quite number of Vasavi languages. It's because of the education, because of the exposure with my other community. And so, we know as it, language is so important, and if we know it, then usually we call that where are you from, which state. So we say, your language is, what is your mother tongue? People say, but they are, what they speak. And how the language is so important in our life. Without language, we cannot communicate properly what we want to share with others. I have going to talk about the tribal context, especially our Vasava Bhils point of view. Our status in terms of our development, in terms of health, education, and income. Okay, that many papers. Okay, they have been shared. I will also talk a little bit about it, and which is very much okay compared to say even scheduled caste and other community, very much down. Although tribals are from the say forest, they used to have the forest resources, but then had the natural food, but then their health status is very much down. Okay, more malnutrition among the tribal community, even say even Maharashtra, Orissa, Gujarat. Similarly, education point of view also. Okay, and income point of view. As we know, the Constitution of India has given us special rights for the overall development of the tribals. But then, as we know, what are the reasons? Okay, giving all these benefits to tribals. Okay, but then so far the resources, benefits are not reached to them. Only received by some of them, not reached to the larger community. Okay, that is also the concern matter. Okay, in the interest of the scheduled tribes, especially the Vasava Bhils. We know it, Lok Sabha and state assemblies, our representatives are there. Okay, but then again, what is their contribution in the terms of tribal development, tribal issues presenting in the state assemblies, the Lok Sabha? Okay, that's also one is to think of. In the context of this thing, I would like to say, during any election, especially say state assembly, parliamentary election, okay, most of the time, whenever they go for the say canvassing campaign, it is discussed, talk in that state languages, not in tribal languages. So usually the larger people of Vasava Bhils, they are not understanding what they are saying, because some of them are not educated, few are educated, but then many things they have been not knowing about what is the agenda. In that context also, let me tell you that when any political agendas are prepared, okay, the tribal population participation is hardly seen, and so that is also not okay. They are not bound to provide what they have said. Okay, once they have been elected, and so overall, in the name of the tribals, many things have been not reached up to the mark that what we wish for them. As a country, we are bound to do certain fulfill the agenda up to 2030 sustainable development goals. Some of the agendas we have not completed till 2015. Okay, and tribals have been focused in different agendas, but then still their status is not that much good. It is very much seen during low participation from across tribal belt of Gujarat could not attend in the agitation during inauguration of Statue of Unity in our district last year. Today, 30 from Narmad, Gujarat Taluka fighting for their survival issue from their own soil because their land is taken away by the government. There are a number of such cases across tribal belt in Gujarat where each affected community have to fight their own rights. I have gone through some of the literatures, okay, and one thing I have interestingly found in Devi and Chakrabarti's edited book. This literature was very much made me to enlighten. In South Africa, as much as in many countries that were previously colonized, like India, language was used as an instrument to deny opportunities to their indigenous people. Okay. It was particularly in education that the oppressive language policies had the greatest impact. Only few languages in India, okay, they have been recognized. Otherwise, larger tribal languages, they have been not introduced at the syllabus point of view, education point of view. So, a tribal education point of view, okay, tribal children's learning point of view, they are lacking very much. Okay, especially when I was a student and I look at my past this education background. Many tribal students, either they will sit behind in the classroom, wherever, hardly they will raise up the questions. The reason is conceptually they have not clear about it. If concepts are not clear, definitely their intent of learning will be not taking place. They will not search out, they will not find out from more and more books, other sources. And so, the question of learning on a particular topic, subjects will be not that much interesting. And later on, that will go towards their dropout ratio also. African people were forced to receive their formal education through a language, either English or Afrikaans, which was not there. Such policies ensured that they were denied access to and success in quality education that would enable them to participate actively in many aspects of their country's life, especially in economy. And today, everyone we are concerned for our development. Development in terms of everybody should have bread and butter. Everybody should have basic their needs. But then, as we know, many people, particularly tribals, they are not getting. Even some of the people do not get even daily meals also. So when freedom was attained, language policies intended to bring back to the dignity of the African people and contribute to development become a priority. To this effect, the democratic government of South Africa, which dated from 1994, has through the years promulgated a number of multilingual policies that give recognition to and require the development of indigenous African languages for use in high status domain. Davies and Chakrabarti, 2009. Okay, very, very interesting, and it was heart touching for me also. This is what I would like to share with you. Professor Vasava is here. He has also talked about in 2008 on Adivasi volume. Okay, I have mentioned. In that, he is talking about Rashtravad in Dodma Adivasi Bhashan San, place of Adivasi languages in nationalism. Okay, the Adivasis. Okay, how much Adivasis contributed in nationalism? Okay, in the past and the today. Okay, and interestingly, many things have been not quoted. Okay, their participation, their contribution also, or we are not finding it. Okay, here and there. He writes about few tribal languages introduced as languages in Indian Constitution that said, while majority of tribal languages are now out of consideration and hence, so slowly and gradually tribals have to speak and learn their respective state languages. He is giving importance of how all these languages can be saved and role of state and central governments to preserve them through providing fund and start refund mechanism for their sustainability. Finally, he writes about if there is even importance of regional or people's languages and especially to tribals, then there will be development of nation will take place. We talk about democracy, we talk about the participation. We talk here, in particular in Gujarat, 14.75% of the tribal, very huge number. Okay, and there is a special mechanism mechanism, special provisions, constitution as well as mechanism to address their development, address their issues from the development point of view. TSP is there. One mechanism TSP is there. Tribal subplan across country, Gujarat also. But then fund is not reaching. Yeah, that what we expect. Okay, tribals, yeah, not tribals. What we expect. Okay, the development point of view, that is not reaching. Some of the valuable efforts made by different individuals, institutions to preserve tribal languages and its culture. That is, Tribal Research Center, Ahmedabad, Bhasha Kendra, Tejgarh, Dhol Magazine, Adivasi Studio in Mandal, District Tapi, Adilok Magazine, Ahmedabad, Kai Tufan Khabar Hai, through FM Radio by Aga Khan Road Support Program India, Netral SST Adivasi, Sanskruti Kendra, Village Part, District Narmada by Dr. Santikar Vasava, Dr. Jitendra Vasava, and others. Vasavi Vyakaran by Father Raymond Chauhan and many more. Okay, number of people have they have tried. They are trying it. Okay, like Dhol Magazine, now it is not published. Okay, the point is once they have, people have realized that it's importance of tribal language to educate their own people. Okay, tribal and non-tribal, their contribution is very much appreciable. But then still, what we would like to see, that is not reached up to them. There is an old Gujarati saying, "Bar game boli badlai." Okay, which means the dialect changes at every 12 villages. Father Stanley Pinto is mentioning in his PhD thesis that I quoted. Okay, and he talks about different tribal languages in the eastern belt of Gujarat. I am not going in detail. Okay, I would like to discuss some of the other things also. In the past, some of might be knowing it. Okay, Dr. Vasava is here. There was a Songaya party. Okay, still they are also there. But now, what was earlier and what today, it is a huge difference. During my PhD data collection in my taluka, what I have seen during the Songaya parties, okay, they are actually a tribal folk. Okay, majority performing by the tribal men. Okay, earlier they used to start their program whole night, beginning around 10 to early in the morning, 4 to 5 o'clock. Okay, even my father used to organize 2-3 times in my village also. And now people used to come because at that time there was no TV. Okay, in the villages, hardly radio was, a few people they cannot imagine about this present about gazette like mobile. TV was not there, and so they used to dance, and through the dances and the song and dramas, they used to talk about the tribal issues also, not only entertaining the people also, but then they used to bring out the messages. Okay, that was there. What is the today's context and the change I have seen during my data collection in Madhava village? Okay, I have seen these are become one mechanism for the this juga. Okay, gambling. These groups will come. Some of the people from say Maharashtra and Gujarat. Okay, especially the they will come. They will have set up one board over there. They will have one SAG kind of group. 8 to 10 people group. And what will happen? They will start the gambling. Okay, especially this season. This year. Because of the low. This any monsoon season. Otherwise, this time this Songaya party will called by the people. Okay, there is a this time with the police also, and where the liquor, this English liquor and this gambling will start. Songaya party will start somewhere 11:30 at 12 o'clock. That is for the just use that for this gambling, and whatever the tribals have earning from their field. Okay, these two say in the thinking of that they will earn more and more money and become rich. They will spend their money. Yeah, they will go for this gambling, and how they will be looked. Okay, so this is what I have seen the Songaya parties. Okay, that is how they are becoming tribals. Not all. some of the tribals they becoming more and more poor. Yeah, they are becoming the debtors. Okay, very interesting cases in the past also and present also. Many times they have sold their houses also, their farms also. Okay, that is also things happening in the past in the gambling. Here I am discussing about the different tribal languages. How even as they have got earlier about presenters that Bhil is the main tribe, and among them also there are sub tribes, and how the languages have changed. Okay, over a period of time, and so then today at present, okay, I have mentioned in earlier also that tribals as a whole, as father said also that I have participated last year in Ratpipla this Adivasi Ekta Parishad this movement. Okay, it is also there. Okay, but then when broader issue is discussed, it is talked. Okay, many times people are not coming together because I have worked more than 7 years with the NGOs, especially at the Social Society, Aga Khan, and still I am continuing with engaging with some of the organization also, and that is the concern for me, and I want to highlight this thing that language is so important, but at the same time people are not coming together. What made them to distinct from others? I would like to share my experiences. I have traveled from Morasa to say Dang, border of Maharashtra also. When I was working as a program coordinator in the Social Service Society, and believe me, there was in 2002-3 this Forest Right Act. The draft was discussed, it was debated, and people's view were very important. And when we were calling the meeting, very few people they used to participate. Only NGO people, educated people they used to participate. Large number of people they used to not participate. Okay, the draft because of the lack of time also, and what I have observed also that this final draft formation they used to give in a very late, and they have to get it early also. There is a very less period to everyone's opinion should be consideration. Okay, but then it was not happening, and what happened that very few people participated. So later on the problem came that we cannot see the movement. There is no participation, there is no agitation. Okay, and this is what we have now we are seeing all over India as well as the Gujarat point of view also. Another very interesting when I worked with the other converts of a program, I was responsible for the implementation of this 3 Narmad watershed program. Okay, Patni Boridabra, Bogoj Kolibara, and Jampar and Moskova. Okay, before me, non-tribal staff was there, and it was found that he cannot handle it properly. My entry was there in Aga Khan, and later on then I was given this responsibility. Tribal people, the project proposal was in English. That fellow also could not understand what is actually the proposal is, and so he could not convince the Vasava farmers. So farmers had the doubts whether Narmad bank is giving money that our land will be taken away by this Narmad bank. What could be survival? Okay, for our in the future, and the reason was the language point of view. That fellow could not understand, and he could not properly share with the people. Once I got the responsibility, I understood it, and again people had a doubt. He is paid money from the organization. Okay, then he may play the game with us. I knew it later on. Then I started to, I know my Vasavi Bhasha, so I used to speak them. Even I know some of them were my relatives also, but then they were not directly telling me. They were suspicious about me that he may also, he will support the organization, not also. And believe me, I I told them, being a tribal, I cannot cheat with you. Otherwise, if it is organization is playing with you, Narmad bank is playing with you, I will not play with you. Otherwise, I will leave the organization. I have to communicate with them. I have to day and night conduct the meeting in the villages, especially in the night time, and then I have to convince with them. I have to make them to understand. I was taking the project proposal in the committee meetings, and then they supported it. They supported it. Here again, the language point of view. Okay, when we not people's point of view, we are not transparent. We are not showing them what is it. Till then, especially the tribal will not have faith on you. They will not trust you. Once they know you, okay, they will give their life. But then, if they think of, okay, they will test and see whether you are really going to do the development work or not, and accordingly they will see what will happen. Then people will trust you and they will support you. Okay, that was the thing. Today I am very happy after my leaving the organization. Partly village, once upon a time, okay, which was almost 90% migrated, migrating. Okay, half of the year they are, because of the Narmad, there are projects. Okay, wonderful work in the villages and plus other organizations also. They are they are selling their products. Okay, farm products in the every Thursday Mediapada Haat, local market, and this is what made the changes. But then initially it was very struggling with the own community to make them to understand what is it. Okay, my observation. Okay, you might be agree, you might be some agree, no agree also. You may have your own opinion also. But then what I am seeing, okay, over a period of time, still I am young to many other professors, learned people. Okay, but I would like to highlight some of the lacunas, gray area. Lack of bond and intimacy among tribals due to segmentation of tribal languages. Here, I have seen that tribals have been having all these languages, and many times one tribe to another tribe, sometimes they are not communicating their own tribal languages. Okay, so sometimes they will join, they will not join. So many times it happens. Language is intimacy. If you talk our children, our family members, our own language people, okay, how much we feel. And here let me tell you, the changes of that we can see broadly. Okay, even Vivekananda addressing assembly in UNO, even our present Prime Minister. Okay, especially attracting the people speaking in Hindi, north belt, central part of Gujarat. Why language is so important? Okay, it is heart touching. Okay, and that is the one strategy, and I like our present Prime Minister's heart touching languages. Okay, he will speak the local language wherever he will go for the canvassing. Okay, he will find out some of the sentences, words, and it will appeal to the people. It will make them more attentive what he is trying to say. This is what the language makes. Okay, and language is so important in our life. Without it, we cannot communicate, and we have to change our strategies in a longer run. That why tribals have been away from the development. Okay, their lack of development. Where we have to understand. Lack of support among tribal themselves leads towards more dependence on governments, NGOs, etc. for their needs and development. Okay, tribals have to educate. Yes. Nowadays, more and more tribal communities people are supporting one another. Still, it is initiation has started, beginning has started. More we have to, because more we are depending on others, more exploitation is taking place. Okay, if it is in the office level, if it is in the market level, if it is at the NGO level, government level, wherever it is. Okay, there are few people, few organizations, few people, few officers, the politicians, they have not cheated, but majority of people have cheated. Okay. In the name of the tribal development, people have been looted there. Okay, and so development is not properly taking place. Lack of combination training among primary teachers on how to teach and what to teach at initial stage of tribal students at the primary level. Okay. Here I would suggest that now tribal teachers, okay, those who are interested for the teaching in the tribal area, okay, they should be recruited in the tribal area. Then only because of their efforts, their training should be taken place in such a way that they should initially bring together the children, make them to interest in a tribal point of view, tribal language point of view, tribal resources point of view. That will attract them, they will attend the classes. Otherwise, drop-out will take place. Okay. Initially, it is very much required. Okay. And values and significance of tribal languages have not been promoted by any government in Gujarat. Okay. We talk a lot about tribal development. Language point of view, okay, that should be very important thing that government should think of. Okay, policy maker they should think of to plan it out something. My policy intervention suggestion that I would like to talk few things. Need translation of Indian Constitution, acts, policies, programs and schemes in various tribal languages will make tribal to educate, awareness, internalize them, then they will unite to do something on various their concerns. Yes, people are aware of, not larger, not in large. At least not everything, but they are summary or important things should be highlighted in their own languages. Okay, very good thing. Professor Vikram Chaudhary has started in say Chaudhary, but I was thinking that it's a summary in Gujarati or other languages should be mentioned. Then only what he's trying to say in Chaudhary, others will understand. If it is good thing, definitely people will learn it and practice it also. Similar way, okay, good things are there. Okay, tribal point of view, but then many tribals, people are not that much concerned because, as we know, that presently constitutions, Supreme Court's judgments, they should be translated in Hindi, so that larger number of people should understand, take its benefit. What about the tribals? They are not Hindu, they are not Muslim, they are not Christian, they are not anything. They are just tribals. Yes, and their languages are different. For them, Gujarati, Marathi, English, other languages, it's like a foreign languages. So for them it will take time. Okay. At the same time, we want to achieve the development goals also. So what we have to do it? Okay. Policy makers, everybody, we have to think of. Special space should be given in mass media like TV, radio, newspaper, magazines, etc. as medium of education and awareness among tribal communities on their concerns, issues and how it can be addressed directly by tribal themselves. I would like to say at morning, talk about Professor Veer. I have seen him, I have heard him in TV, okay, in debates. He talks a lot on tribal issues and tribal development. Okay. Why there are number of tribal learned people, educated people. Okay, they should be invited. Okay, TSP fund is there, other fund also there. Government should also think of, policymaker also should think of Bahadursinh and other channels. Okay, they should promote them so that tribal more and more interest will take place. More people will watch some of the discussion debates. Otherwise, people will what they work it. They like to watch the TV, this film, this matches, cricket match, football match, especially the seniors. But important debates, issues, discussion about their one community, one their area, larger interest of the tribal community, hardly they watch it. And so their concepts are not clear, they are not educated, they are not aware of, and so coming together, although they might be from the different language, but then they will come together, they will learn it also. More central and state government funds should be allocated in developing of tribal languages, which would pay dividend in future for tribal and poor.
And then make sure statement that will really help you in taking up real issues. I'm sorry, I am a bit harsh, but I was harsh on Devi also. Me and Ganesh Devi studied together. We have taught together at South Gujarat University, and when he took up language project, he invited me. I'm sorry, this is not going to work. લોકો તમને પૈસા આપશે. International agency wants you કે તમે આના રવાડે ચડી જાઓ. What is it that you want? તમારે આદિવાસીનું ભલું કરવું છે કે લેંગ્વેજનું ભલું કરવું છે? આ બેમાં તમે એનાલિટિકલી if you are absolutely clear, then I think it will help you. વાંચે ગુજરાતમાં. If this is the question, હું પણ આ બધા સૂચનો કરું, પણ આ સૂચનો તમે કોને કરશો? અને ધારો કે ન મનાય તમે શું કરશો? સી અત્યારની સરકાર છે ને એક પેલું ગુજરાતી ભાષાના વિકાસ માટે વાંચે ગુજરાત મુવમેન્ટ ચલાવે છે. ભૂલભૂલમાં એ વાંચે ગુજરાત વાળા મને બોલાવી ગયા. એટલે મેં કીધું ગુજરાત વાંચતું ત્યારે થાય કે જ્યારે આ તમારા બધા શહેરના બોર્ડ ગુજરાતીમાં હોય. તો હું વાંચું ક્યારે? આ બોર્ડ કેમ અંગ્રેજીમાં છે? તમારી સચિવાલયના બોર્ડ કેમ અંગ્રેજીમાં છે? એક છોકરો ભાષાની બહુ જ પકડ લઈને ફરતો હતો. મેં એને પકડ્યો. તો ગંજી ઉતાર કઈ ભાષામાં લખ્યું પાછળ? કેમ ત્યાં બદલતા નથી? શું બદલવું છે તમારે? અને ધારો કે તમારી લેંગ્વેજ ટકી રહી તો તેથી શું ફાયદો છે? Language is a part of culture, but let people who hold that culture decide what they want to do, and not certain elites. Not certain elites. તમને પ્રોજેક્ટ મળશે, તમને અમારે પૈસા મળશે, બધું જ મળશે, પણ પેલા સામાન્ય આદિવાસી શું? અને આપણે તો વસાવી બોલવાના જ નથી, આપણે તો અંગ્રેજીમાં બોલવાના છે. એટલે સવાલ પેલો આપણા કોન્ટ્રાડિક્શન્સનો આવી ઉભો છે. I am all for saving a language, I am all for saving a culture, પણ કોઈ પણ કલ્ચર કે ભાષા બચે ક્યારે આ તમારે સવાલ કરવો પડે. આ 3 ધોરણમાં ભણાવવાના પ્રયોગો 3 થી 4 વાર થઈ ચૂક્યા છે. તમને ખબર છે તમામ આદિવાસી બોલીઓનું એક નાની નાની ચોકડીઓ બનાવવી. પહેલા બીજા ત્રીજા ધોરણમાં કામ લાગે. ચકલીને વસાવીમાં શું કહેવાય, ચકલીને ડાંગીમાં શું કહેવાય, આની પુસ્તિકાઓ તૈયાર છે. સૌથી પહેલું આ કામ થયું બનાવવાનું. હું આ વાત કરું છું લગભગ 1970માં પહેલી વાર જ્યારે પંચાયતી રાજ આવ્યું પછી એમણે નક્કી કર્યું કે આ કરવું. નહીં થયું. પછી સર્વ શિક્ષા અભિયાન વખતે થયું, નહીં થયું. હવે ત્રીજી વાર એ લોકો શરૂ કરે છે કે ડાંગી જે વિસ્તાર હોય એના એ શિક્ષકોને મૂકવા એટલે બાળકની ભાષા સમજી શકે. શિક્ષકો જતા નથી. એટલે હું કહું છું કે આ નહીં થાય તમે કરશો શું? તમારી પાસે નિશ્ચિત કાર્યક્રમ માત્ર આમ થવું જોઈએ. હા, આપણને ઈશ્વર મળી જવો જોઈએ, મને કોઈ વાંધો નથી, પણ મળવાનો છે આ સવાલ છે. એટલે આવા પ્રયોગો થઈ ચૂક્યા. આખો ડાંગનો ઇતિહાસ ડાંગી બોલી કઈ છે તેના પર એના વેદ વિરોધમાંથી થયો છે, એના પર લખાયું છે ઘણું બધું. પછી થયું શું એમ? એટલે સવાલ એ છે કે તમે કોઈ પણ બોલી બચાવવા માંગો છો ત્યારે મને વાંધો નથી, નક્કી કરો, હું તમારી જોડે બોલીમાં બોલીશ. થવાનું છે અને કેમ નથી થવાનું એના ડાયનેમિક્સ સમજો તો તમે લિંગ્વિસ્ટિક્સ સમજી શકશો. જો તમે ડાયનેમિક્સ નહીં સમજી શકો તો તમે લિંગ્વિસ્ટિક્સ નહીં સમજી શકો.
મારો એક જે તમે જે કીધું એ જ હું કહેવા માંગતો હતો, જે તમે સબસ્ટેન્સ કહ્યું કે ઓલરેડી લાસ્ટ જે વિદ્યુતભાઈ કહ્યું તેમાં લાસ્ટ જે સર્વ શિક્ષા અભિયાન પછી થયું તેની અંદર ઇનફેક્ટ આઈ વોઝ ઇન્વોલ્વ ઇન ધેટ એન્ટાયર પ્રોજેક્ટ, પર્ટિક્યુલરલી સુરત જિલ્લા પંચાયતમાં. એન્ડ you won't believe Sociology training college, but today at least 1 lakh books are lying like this, Chaudhary, Gamit, Vasavis and Bhils from 1st to 5th standard. More than 1 lakh 1st to 5th standard books are lying as it is because teachers were not ready to teach. Because they are reluctant. In fact, there was a training, full length training by so many people. But they were in fact, Kanubhai Nawal will know, person called Manoj Bhai Chaudhary from Algad, Adivasi Ekta Parishadna bhau ekdam એ છે. In fact, he was a trainer to the teachers. But teachers were reluctant to give that. અમારા છોકરાને અમે ચૌધરીમાં શું કામ ભણાય કારણ કે અમારે એ તો કરવાનું છે. હવે તમે પેલી જે કોન્ટ્રાડિક્ટરી તમારે એમાં કેવું છે કે તમે એક બાજુ કીધું કે છોકરાઓ જાણતા નથી બોલી અને પછી જે ટ્રાન્સલેટ કરી આપણે બોલી બધા તમે કહો છો કે બધું કોન્સ્ટિટ્યુશન ટ્રાન્સલેટ કરો તો પણ તમારી લિપિ તો છે નહીં. લિપિ નથી એટલે તો ગુજરાતીમાં ટ્રાન્સલેટ કરવાનું અને ગુજરાતીમાં પહેલાં ગુજરાતી વાંચે પછી જ પેલું વાંચશે ને. લિપિ હોય તો પેલા લોકો સીધું વાંચી શકે ને. એટલે આ બહુ આ જે તમારું સજેશન છે ને બહુ એટલું કોન્ટ્રાડિક્ટરી સજેશન છે. હું તમને પછી તમારો જે પોઈન્ટ છે તે વિદ્યુતભાઈની સામે મારો જે આર્ગ્યુમેન્ટ છે તે છે કે લેંગ્વેજ ઇઝ અ મીડિયમ ઓફ એક્સપ્રેશન. And then I think I agree with what Bahadurbhai is saying, that because of the language is a very important tool for expression particular thing. In tribal area we find, I mean today also, say data suggests that 62% is a literacy. Among the literacy, that is a real reading literacy is less than 50. So basically 50% people are absolutely nowhere to understand or they can express themselves. And for expression, they need the tool for expressing themselves and more powerfully assertive kind of a thing. And for that, what he is saying, that is very 100% true, that it has to be, some scope has to be given to express themselves. And here the whole politics of the language, what your Noam Chomsky is saying, Noam Chomsky basically, essentially he is also arguing that the expression of a medium has to be basically promoted. And there I think I'll go. But તમારું બાકીનું જે છે ને તે બહુ પ્રોબ્લેમેટિક છે કે એ કોઈ દિવસ શક્ય જ નથી બનવું. તમને હું કહેવું, હમણાં જ અમારી સ્ટડી કરી ઇન ગુજરાત entire tribal development department, only there is only 2 non-tribal and the entire department from Pune to CDPO, that project of the administrative officer, all are tribals. Unfortunately, those are TDPO, tribal development subplans, those who are posted there, they are reluctant to speak in the tribal. So, I am not saying કે આ લોકો કરે છે તો બધું ઇન્ફ્લુઅન્સ બધી જાતની હોય છે, and we have already from the morning we have been talking, but it is a very very unfortunate, it is not happening and it will not happen.
It will not happen. હું એમાં એગ્રી નથી. The point is, હું બોમ્બે ભણતો હતો. When I studied in Mumbai, while coming in the train, usually I used to utter my own Vasavis. Once I enter, coming to Kevdi, my village, I used to speak with my elders. Today it is very much helping for me to understand the tribal point of view, their issues point of view. Although my education, most of my period during my education was in the hostel, but when I started to work among the NGOs and travel among the tribal community, knowing the languages, I used to communicate with them. That made me to internalize and understood the real issues.
There he says that is fine. We agree there. પણ બાકી બધું પ્રોબ્લેમેટિક. મારી વાત સાંભળો બહાદુરભાઈ, હું હજુ 10 વર્ષ તો જીવવાનો છું. 10 વર્ષ પછી મને કહે દે. બહાદુરભાઈ 10 વર્ષ પછી મને કહે દે. You talked about the Dehavali Vasavi and Madhwani Vasavi. So that is not possible even at the primary education level. No.
Here, मुझे जो कहना है, what I would like to say is, conceptually some of the things should be clear with the students. That is my more emphasis. Not everything in tribal language. I will not agree also. Okay, but many technical words, scientific words, they should be taught in tribal languages. Tribal issues.
Medical education or engineering education or even management education. We don't have textbook in Gujarati. Then how can you go to
efforts are not made? No, efforts are not made. 70 years में आपने
there, that how you reach till dialect local.
મને એમ લાગે છે બહાદુરસિંહ હિસ્ટરી ઓફ લેંગ્વેજીસ વાંચી લેજો તમે પછી તમે આ બધાના જવાબો આપી શકશો. તમારી આદર્શ સાથે અમે 100% સંમત, એમાં કોઈ વાંધો નથી. પણ જે જયેશભાઈએ કહ્યું ને કે ગુજરાતી માધ્યમ મેડિકલમાં, એન્જિનિયરિંગમાં, ફાર્મસીમાં, આર્કિટેક્ચરમાં કેમ નથી ઉતર્યું? તો પુસ્તકો નથી લખતા. પુસ્તકો કોણ લખશે? એના પ્રોફેસરો લખશે. એના પ્રોફેસરો કેમ નથી લખતા? તો કે એમનું માર્કેટ. એટલે માર્કેટ અને પોલિટિક્સ, દે ડિસાઇડ યોર લેંગ્વેજ. આ સમજી લો તમે.
સેકન્ડ પોઈન્ટ તમારે
અને સો ફાર એઝ એક્સપ્રેશન ઇઝ કન્સર્ન, આઈ એમ વિથ જ્યાં જ્યાં તમારા પેલાના હોય ત્યાં ત્યાં તમારા મંડળો બનાવો, એક્સપ્રેશન કરો, કવિતાઓ, નવલકથાઓ આ બધું આવે, આપણા એક્સપ્રેશનને જોર મળે, આપણી મૂવમેન્ટ ચાલે તેમાં લેંગ્વેજનો ઉપયોગ કરો, લેંગ્વેજને યુનિફિકેશનના મીડિયમ તરીકે લો. આ બધા સાથે કબૂલ. પણ આ બધું કરવા જશો ને તો અમે તમને 10 લાખ રૂપિયાનો પ્રોજેક્ટ આપશું એટલે તમે ઊંધે રવાડે ચડી જશો.
Yeah, the question that I want to raise is, Vidit Bhai said you must do scientific study of tribal languages. I think Tej and also now Mother Raymond has done 5 grammars and all that. Now the word that we are using in our seminar is structure. Now, today we had Pandasar gave us about the political structure of the tribe. Then we are trying to do the social structure of the tribe. What about the linguistic structure of the tribal? So that if we do a comparative study of Vasavi and Gamit and Gopna and Varli and others, can we find out some common structures whereby we can understand the mind of the Adivasi, how the mind is structured? Can we do some sociolinguistics? That would be a great contribution. I think Ganubai Vasava can give us some comments on this.
Yeah, I would like to speak something. In fact, as Josie has stated, Noam Chomsky, Blumenfeld, and Edward Sapir, these 3 authors are writing as you read.
There are also counters to that.
Yeah, counters.
You can read. Excellent counters. They were butchered actually.
Now,
Let me not get
in
it.
regard to tribal language, I say,
Chomsky was butchered. Right?
language restricts thought, and thought also restricts language. Language doesn't mean only to use alphabets and speak something. LLPs have stated 11% of total communication of the messages through language is done only by writing. Body language is taking a major portion of communication, the message. So if you do not understand the body language of the tribal, for example, nodding head doesn't say no.
Yes.
Nodding head many times might
yes.
respond to.
Yes.
If I remain silent, need not be taken for acceptance. It may be a form of protest. So in a sense, you need to understand the tribal social linguistic idea, social linguistic mechanism as it exists. From that, if you think of using that particular common features in a particular geographical area, there is a possibility we can think of the linguistic structure as a source of, say, using for development. It's a tool for development.
I have. If you speak, I'll speak to them. No problem.
I just wanted to say I feel very excited by your talk because it seems to me similar to what I witnessed in Bhopal, of expanding the space where tribal people are using the language even against what has been custom. As several people have said, like there has been generations of tribal language textbooks not used in Indian schools because there were no tribal teachers and so on.
Yes.
And senior tribal administrators reluctant to use the tribal languages. But what you're saying is using it in an NGO, like it is becoming more effective, and maybe it's like going against the trend. For example, in tribes in Canada, as you mentioned, or New Zealand, I mean, languages that were supposed to disappear have really strongly come back. But in India, it is more difficult because there's so many dialects, languages, and yet I think it requires us going against custom to assert, like, to speak tribal languages in places where people are not used to hearing them. So anyway, I'm excited.
Mother tongue is comfortable, other tongue is difficult.
No, you see, I have worked on it's a child labor project. I've taken two communities. One is Banjara, who speak verbally and they will not understand. A child doesn't understand what the teacher says in school. They are good artists because whatever teacher writes, they copy it like that. After class 5, they are back to square one. So what some of the non-tribal teachers developed, they said that the project, they have come to me. I said, why don't you develop, including for mathematics, primers up to class 5, and in the local language, because anyway they have to pick up the local language. So they learn the script, but they learn the subject in their mother tongue because they are familiar at that age. After that, they assimilate in the larger groups. They understand, they communicate, then they can easily get it because it doesn't become problematic for them. So there are strategies that need to be evolved. It is not that, you see, just because it is failing, you see what happens is if a child has no cognition, he will never develop or she will never develop, and thereby they are always lagging behind. So the reason thereby we have to talk about is political dimensions of language could be different, but importance of the language, when we are, because I am making a presentation on language and knowledge in UNESCO, this thing, and I'm going into the second. And this is important because how annulling of a language, also attrition of a language, also attrition of many other things. We are now making them endangered language to be studied as if they are specimens in the museums. Nothing can be preserved. But if we allow the people to practice their things, that survives. So what is important for us is, I think what Felix was saying, he said, it's a movement that is coming back, that we must, as group, we must survive, as identity should be retained, and the language should be sustained. If that has to happen, it has to have a strategical thing. And many of the people will be reluctant mainly because they think that it is lowering themselves.
Inferiority complex.
But if you bring in the kind of emphasis in their mind that this is a self-respect, automatically to become. In Tamil Nadu, Tamil became this thing when, against all this thing. When language was 1940s,
Yes.
when language was spoken, they wrote all India Congress this thing completely in Tamil. That brought people down, which means you need to assert. You need to assert, there is a movement required among the community to say, yes, we will understand only in our language. Up to certain age, after that your mental capacities will be different. So that is where we need to talk about. I am not disputing, but you have to have a strategical kind of approach.
Okay. I just want to say one sentence.
હું જરા વાત હળવી કરવા એક જોક કહી. I am from Nagar community. And Nagars are powerful politicians. We were divans. हाँ खटपटिया અમે રાજવાડામાં દિવાન હતા. અમે કામ કરતા હોય ને મારા હાથ નીચેનો સિપાહી હોય ને કાલો મિયા એને બોલાવીને પૂછીએ कालो मियाँ लड़का क्या करता है तो साहब 8वीं में आया है तब ज्यादा पढ़ा के क्या करोगे उसको जरा उर्दू सिखाओ उसको जरा मदरसा में भेज दो फिर कालो मियाँ लड़के को मदरसा में भेज देंगे उर्दू सिखाएंगे मेरे लड़के को मैं इंग्लिश के साथ मैट्रिक करवाऊंगा ही विल बिकम हेड ऑफ